California may be cannabis friendly, but they're certainly not crypto friendly. By the way, the state just issued a whole bunch of warnings out there regarding crypto projects. And a major delisting will be happening with a major token on December 30th. Also, why did the SEC go after XRP? And who else will they be going after? Or better yet, who are they not going after? Welcome new viewers and old friends. I've got a great program for you today. Bitcoin sitting at 16,622, ETH at the 1,200 mark. XRP highlighted today's video, and we're going to talk about the XRP versus SEC case coming up here. Sitting at 34.5 cents, down 3.67. Now remember, the reason they are down is they had that rally that just could not make it. All right, let's talk about California, everyone. Consumer alert. And why am I bringing up California? Well, crypto lender Nexo to quit the United States. One of the reasons they are quitting the United States has to do with regulatory issues. The state of California was not on the same page as federal regulators, and Nexo was working with both of them. And Nexo's sitting here going, yo, feds, we're working with you. Then all of a sudden California comes after us. How do we run a business in this darn country? Well, getting back to what California did, they issued a whole bunch of consumer alerts. And if you want to read the consumer alerts yourself, you're welcome to. Why? Because as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. They got a whole bunch of them that they released yesterday, real late yesterday. RB Hood appears to be engaged in fraud. Now, mind you, most of these are scams and schemes, and I'm glad the state of California is going after them. But in the likes of Nexo, I wish the state would work with federal regulators as well to make crypto business more appealing in the United States, not pushing the technology and money out. Now you guys want to talk about that major crypto that's getting delisted? Ooh, baby. Solana cuts deep in Matrix port delist. Solana as price sinks to single digits. All right, let's just look at the price of Solana. Got the chart up right now for 1 year time period. You can see in 1 year, they were as high as 179. They're now down to 9.3. Now, two significant things I want to show you regarding this chart. The first is this right here. You see this major movement right here where I have my cursor? This movement here was during the Luna UST crash, okay? Now look at that, okay? Now remember when the Celsius-Mashinsky thing happened? Not too big of a crash there, but look at the second biggest one, FTX. Now the reason Solana is pulling so hard down from FTX is because FTX and Alameda were both major boosters and holders of the SOL token. So with FTX and Alameda being in trouble, it makes sense that Solana's down. Now, in fact, it goes even further than that. Another reason why Solana is going down and why people are predicting it to go even further down in 2023 has to do with projects leaving their chain. Now, projects leaving their chain honestly isn't a bad thing, everyone, because this means consolidation. So if there are legit products, they're like, no, let's get out of Solana and let's hop on to other chains. Now, what that means is that consolidation will make the chains that they go to even stronger. And that's what we need in crypto right now, especially since you have over 22,000 tokens. We need more consolidation, everyone. But now onto the story that you're here for. Why is the SEC going after XRP? And that's what I want you to comment down below. Let me know your theory on why the SEC went after XRP. And don't worry, tinfoil hats, conspiracy theory, rabbit hole fans, type away, my good friends. I'll gladly read them. Here is the thing. The SEC's gross abuse of discretion standards, Deaton tweets. All right, here's something I want to show you with you. He commented that the subpoena power to get personal emails of the former SEC officials would help one to know more about the commission's executive branch. And we have to start asking ourselves, why did they decide to go after XRP 2 years ago when you saw companies like Celsius, FTX, and all breaking rules openly? Now remember, Celsius was one of the companies out there that said they had FDIC insurance, and we know that that's not even close. In fact, Celsius, and let's step back just a little bit further, the SEC is going after high interest yielding accounts. Celsius was offering like 36% on some of their products publicly, and yet the SEC was like, nah, let's not pay attention to that. So why are they going after XRP? Let's get to John Deaton, a man in the know who's representing over 74,000 XRP holders in a lawsuit against the SEC. This is what he says. Who the SEC elects to sue and the specific allegations it asserts are within the discretionary functions of the executive branch. You can challenge a decision based on gross abuse of discretion standard, extremely high standards to meet. You need specific evidence of misconduct. My point exactly. With Luna, with Celsius, with FTX, there was yields out there that were offered that were way higher than traditional banking standards. And no, I'm not talking about a couple percentage points. I'm talking anywhere from 4 to 5 to 600% more than what traditional banks were offering. Red flag, Gary Gensler, why didn't you go after them? Deaton also tweeted this. A good example to give is Bernie Madoff. And we gotta love John Deaton, everyone. You gotta follow this guy. Investors brought class actions against the SEC for being grossly negligent in not prosecuting Madoff sooner, considering a whistleblower made it clear that Madoff was operating a Ponzi scheme before Madoff confessed. So now you have people telling the SEC, hey, yo, look, bad things are happening, but the SEC isn't going after him, yet they choose to go after XRP. Deaton's got a legit point. Why is the SEC going after some, but not some of the obvious bad actors out there? Especially when it comes to things, think of like Celsius and FTX. Think of all the money that was tied up into those massive exchanges versus LBRY, which was only a $22 million penalty. By the way, that LBRY penalty, I'm gonna have a story about that later. So if you wanna hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out, well, it's probably a good idea. But think about that. Why are they picking these things? And I think that's the big question we have to start asking ourselves. Is there an agenda there? Why is the SEC, CFTC ignoring obvious infractions but yet going after small fish? If your job is to protect the consumer, wouldn't the idea be to go after things that affect large amounts of consumers? Now, don't get me wrong. I know XRP Ripple Labs, that's a big thing. I get it. Is it as big as FTX? No, of course not. Is it as big as Celsius? No, of course not. What about all the other things that are going on out there that we know about, right? We know. What about QSI, Whiplash, and all those? Yeah, and Emily, that's obviously out there that they're scamming people for millions and millions and millions. Yet the SEC and the CFTC aren't going after them. Now, let's go and look at Nexo, okay? Nexo is like, yo, hey, we want to work in the United States, so we're working with federal regulators like the SEC, like CFTC. But then the state of California comes after us and is like, girlfriend, you get out of my backyard. So even if companies are trying to do the right thing, the fact that federal and state regulators aren't communicating with each other is making it an environment where businesses cannot succeed. Speaking of not succeeding, Solana down over 90-something% here. What, 179 now to under $10? You're going to see more Solana pain coming. You're going to see more places delisting SOL. Absolute mess. So when you are involved in a project, a token, whatever you want to call it out there, start seeing who the biggest holders are, who the biggest pumpers, who are the ones that are most positive about it. Reason being is if they're not in good financial shape and if they get in trouble, it's going to bring your favorite project down with it. Now, if you want to learn more about crypto, Web3 cool stuff, this is the video you got to check out right here. As more news breaks, I'll be sure to share it with you. If you liked what you saw today, hit the like button. It helps the algos as this, crypto is not the fastest growing thing on YouTube. And if you really like what you saw, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more news to come. Until then, you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.